Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. It is great to be kicking off another week with you all. And man, the hits just keep on coming. Another major news weekend to get into with you guys. Major developments, I'm sure you're all aware of. So it should be a fun show. Although I am very unprepared, let's just say, for it. I had not had a lot of show prep time today. So we'll see how it goes. But either way, it is great to be with you guys. I am looking forward to having a wonderful discussion and conversation with the panel and all you guys out there in the live chat. So jump in, say hello. We'll start with our shout outs, and then we'll officially get this underway in about 5 minutes here. QOY, Salboard, Dave, 74 UK. Great to see you guys over on D Live. Shout out to our friends watching on Rumble as well. Mostly Joe Elaine modding the chat, and Floyd making a rare appearance over on Rumble. Hit that thumbs up, guys, if you haven't already done so, please, and share that link. And of course, pill.net, the exclusive home for the second hour of today's show. So if you want to watch the show in its entirety, I recommend that you get on over to pill.net whenever you can. Get yourself nice and comfy over there. If you want to chat, make yourself a profile and come say hello. Hanging out in the comfy bunker today. I see Patriot 714 was in there first. Delia down in Arizona, not far behind. Floyd Due Diligence hooking us up with a lazy what to do margarita Monday vacation cookie. Floyd's on vacation. Floyd's celebrating a birthday, I believe, on Thursday, if I got my days correct, on the 25th. So happy early birthday, Floyd. And it's awesome to have you in the chat. D. Richard in the house. HL Paco, so good to see you. There's Joe Elaine modding the chat as well. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you so much. And who else is out there? Gotta scroll down. R. Harold. What's up, R. Harold? Pip's mom out in the Wales, UK. Good to see you, Pip. Hope you're having a good day over there across the pond. Barb Robbins. What's up, Barb? Space Cookie in the house as well. Kang Chris, good to see you, Chris. And Lance Lightspear, what's going on? Faithful Mom and Range Pony out there. Mad Joker, great to see you. Boys Blanc dropping a cookie. How are you, Boys Blanc? Thank you for the love. Snow Bunny 68. We got CK Whitehorse 180 out there as well. Tweety 52. Good to see you, Lucy Anders. Welcome. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. I see the Gray Man out there. Pensitor and CB Joey down in Florida hanging out with us. Back to lurk mode. Well, thank you for poking your head up and saying hello. Roy Stones and Bones in the house. Good to see you, Roy, checking in from the West Coast. You saw it here right in my backyard, repping the 412. Let's go. Russian bot. I like that sticker. That's good stuff. Trump Red Pill 1. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see so many of you guys out there. Green Girl. What's going on? Paul Thaddeus, Fazic, Todd M out there. Eagle Freedom. And Pat McFly, Lord Mad Dog. Hey, Clover Lily in the house. Dread Quarters. Good to see you. Too Quick. Crockett Man 62. Did I say a Tweety yet? I feel like I did. Well, anyway, Tweety 52, welcome again. You might have gotten to today. See you on Flipside. Zerame, what's going on? Saratoga Chuck. Giddy up indeed, my friend. Russian Bots says, please refrain from letting Drunk Pinata share. We have been through enough today for him. Thank you. I'm going to give him all the time in the world. Starwalker 77, Filter Dog 1, always in Texas. What's up, guys? Kyres, Cycle Chris, and Mix Picks. Good to see you. Moto Cowgirl, welcome. Idaho Patriot, Bitter Midget, Packers 412, Lyle, Jenny. Good to see you guys. Don Ritchie, the Universe OG in the house. Due Diligence is Joe Elaine. Was all by herself over there. Well, I appreciate you keeping her company, Floyd. You the man. Rig Boots, what's going on? Ty Valius, welcome. Moto Cowgirl, PNW Sasquatch, Laura Y, repping the 412. Let's go. Kim Iowa. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Shout out to you and the whole No Prisoners podcast fam. I hope you guys had a great show today. Due Diligence, hello. Yeah, I'm celebrating my half-century birthday this Thursday. Yes, that's amazing. Again, happy early birthday, Floyd. And thank you so much for the cookies. Smoke 78, good to see you. Dwayne Q of Lurks, the Universe OG. Let's see who else. Hey, Sasquatch, thank you for the can. Cheers. Appreciate that. What's up, Cynthia? FVT. Trump Red Pill 1 says drunk pinata incoming. Yes, I see him actually in the waiting room here. So that means it must be time to get started. Let's see. Satire for retards, a desert cat, Moto Cowgirl, Kaz 1012, Jucani, and Our 4 Cents. Cap, good to see you. Jucani dropping some shades. God bless. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very, very much. Biatch, John 121878. A from PA out there, Mikey Baseball, Thumper Rose, Old Salty Dog. Thank you for the can. We'll salute to the fam there. Timber Jet, good to see you out there as well. And anybody else that I've missed? If so, I apologize, but we got to get the show started. We'll be right back.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all, I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall, we're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production, Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the two state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adol Nero is the power that's controlling the plight. With all the patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight, but I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sights? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful, then you're gone. But not us, we're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
All right, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. It is good to be kicking off another week with you all here for another Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adol Nero. It is July 22nd, 2024, and we've got well, we're down a guy on the panel, but we're up the lovely Maxanon, so it kind of balances out. Max, how you doing? Happy Monday.
I can never replace the great TN, but there's only so much time and so much to talk about in 2 hours, and I know we've got a lot to cover, so I'll do my best to contribute. I could probably rant nonstop from now until 6 p.m. So I'll bite my tongue and there is so much going on right now. I couldn't help it. Even Friday, I was like, we could keep going. I'll come back Monday. And here we are Monday, and I could come back tomorrow too. Oh, speaking of tomorrow, it's my birthday. So that's fun. And
Well, happy
today's
birthday.
my last day being 35. So there's that. It's cool, I guess.
Well, happy birthday, Max. And glad we could do maybe a little early celebration here. And thank you for giving Pinata and I the night off. I don't know if you guys all heard that, but Max just offered to rant clear till 6 p.m. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my camera and microphone, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4. No, it's great to have you. Great to have you with us. Drunk Pinata, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Good, man. It was an awesome weekend, and excited to be back here doing the show, especially with more major news breaking. So I'm sure that was fun to cover on your end of things.
Yeah, they caught everyone so off guard. They had to wheel in Rachel Maddow without makeup,
Oh no.
and then they did a 4 panel version of their view. They had I was trying not to show that to my audience today, but I'll have to poke around, see if there's any clips from that, because I'm assuming that they were taken by surprise on this, because the MSNBC was still trying to push that Biden was fine. I mean, just that morning, or they had the campaign chair of Biden Harris there saying that everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then and of all places, they broke into Jen Psaki's show to talk about it. And so when that was happening, we kind of went in there to see what she was saying, and she seemed to be surprised, because I don't know if it's a difference between the different factions of control, because between Biden versus Obama, and where does she fall more on the Biden part because of her position? But I don't know. It's hard to say now, but it's definitely taken aback. But if they feel, maybe it's because maybe they feel that Biden had a better shot than Kamala is going to have, just because of literally just because of people being aloof and not understanding what's going on and just saying Biden, sure, that was great, you know, completely, uninformed voters. Like is that all they were counting on, and they would deal with it later, probably.
Probably.
But it's really interesting to see about this whole note that doesn't even appear to be his signature, that's not on official letterhead, and was drafted by in Delaware. And the fact that Kamala spoke first publicly before Joe did, it's like
There have been
I
any
think
times
I think we actually saw the coup that they've been saying happen on January 6th.
have we actually seen seen signs of life from Joe Biden?
No,
Yeah.
no, we have not. Some of the Congress people are putting out things like show proof of life, you know. Otherwise, and here, I mean, this is what we went from on my show cards. We went from wondering whether he's going to be in or out here, and I'm like, oh, I can just reuse this because, well, the next day it's like, here you go, here you go. There
That's
you go.
that's great. All right, well, it's good to have you aboard. We're gonna start obviously with the Biden news, but first, let me take care of our sponsor, which is Earthgarden Botanicals, earthgardenbotanicals.com. You guys are pretty familiar with this at this point. Jolene runs this company up in Montana. She makes wellness products. They're fantastic. Stuff like CBD and hemp products, all the ingredients for which are grown locally and organically on small Montana farms. Check out the CBD oil tinctures. They taste great. They work great. I love these things. The orange ginger bergamot and the huckleberry are my favorite flavors, but I've also enjoyed the cinnamon bliss, the cherry, the unflavored, and the peppermint. They're all very, very good. There's CBD oil for pets, Delta 8 nighttime gummies for a good night's sleep. Check out the Arnica salve. It's a topical cream for sore joints and muscles. You can get that with CBD infused or without. Products like elderberry tonic to boost your immune system, fire cider to clear your sinuses during this allergy season. Your white pine needle extract and the sunshine and pine needle tea will both help give the body a nice little detox. There's a bunch of other teas here to choose from as well. So all you tea drinkers out there want to go check this out. And of course, the critter juice, keeping the insects and mosquitoes away. All natural insect repellent. I love this stuff. I swear by it. It's a really great product. Promo code 412 gets you 10% off your order. And yeah, go to earthgardenbotanicals.com. Use that promo code. And please say hi to Jolene for us. She loves you guys. She loves this community and everything we have going on here. So again, earthgardenbotanicals.com, promo code 412 at checkout for 10% off your order. Big thank you to Earth Garden and all of you guys out there who continue to support our sponsor of the show here. So here is the letter from Joe Biden as he exits the race. As my fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to millions of veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We protected and preserved our democracy, and we revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all of those who worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all of this work, and let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today, what I always have, there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. And then here's the signature. I guess the one on the left is from executive orders. The one on the right here is from the letter. So people are questioning if this is even him. And the Gateway Pundit article here is, did we just witness a coup? Joe Biden resigns from the 2024 race with a tweet on X that was not posted on official letterhead, and his signature is being questioned. So this is very interesting. There are several more questions behind this sudden weekend announcement via Kyle Becker. So let's take a look at this. Says Joe Biden suddenly resigns on X. The White House staff find out 1 minute later. Joe Biden resignation letter, not on official letterhead. Biden signature suspect. Steve Ricchetti helped write letter. Jill Biden tweets heart emoji response. White House wipes Biden's schedule. White House chief of staff calls cabinet, manages comms. Frank Biden confirms health a factor. Family suggests Biden may have terminal illness. Joe Biden holds no live press conference. Where is Joe? Just another perfectly normal day in Biden's America. It is crazy, right? Because there is this article here about the campaign staff having no idea that this was happening. They found out when they saw the letter on Twitter. So what do you guys think? Was this a bloodless coup? Was this even written by Joe Biden? Did they take him out behind the scenes? Did someone smother the old man with a pillow in his sleep? What the heck is going on here? No signs of life, a forged signature. No one in his inner circle seems to know what's going on. It's kind of crazy, right? Like, this is like, you think that if you're going to essentially resign from the election after winning the primary, a few weeks out from your party's national convention, you would have a press conference. You would do that in some kind of speech, some kind of public address. This weird letter is awfully strange. This whole thing is super weird.
Yeah, it is very strange. I'm actually following Laura Loomer on X right now that about, I don't know how long ago, within the last 2 hours, she tweeted, she posted on X that the no-fly zone has been activated over Joe Biden's Delaware beach house. And he was supposedly in the White House, so that means he's going to his house today, Monday, which is weird. Unannounced, like no one has seen him in over, I guess, 5 days or something. I could be wrong about that. I know Lauren Boebert had tweeted that he needs to show his face by 5 p.m. or something. I don't know what happens, but she said, we need to see you, bro. And now, if you guys are following Laura Loomer, she says Air Force Two is in the air, which means Kamala Harris is flying there too, or could mean that if this is true. But then she does have like the flight tracker thing, so there's some sauce to that. But you guys pray for the dude's immortal soul for a second, just in case. He could be already dead. We don't know. But this is all very strange. There's so much weirdness going on, but like, I am not the monsters I hate on the left. I do actually pray for somebody's, like, I don't want anyone to go through eternal suffering in hell like I know Joe Biden would. So I pray for his like clear-eyed attempt at redemption before he dies, because he's old and he could die at any time this whole time. I really don't want that for anybody, because I'm sure he's got some shit coming for him. So I don't know if he's alive. I don't know, but he might be dying right now. So like, if you're a praying person and like, you don't have to do what you want, but like, I don't know, your conscience is whatever. I think he might be dying. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I've heard rumors that he might have some terminal illness. Actually, TN Homesteader, shout out to him. He couldn't be here today. He had some Matrix stuff come up, but he had sent a tweet from Laura Loomer. Let me see if I can find it. What it said. 10 a.m. Eastern time today, White House Chief of Staff Jeff Zients is holding a mandatory call from all White House staff, followed by a call for all political appointees in the Biden administration at 11 a.m. We may be getting to a full-blown resignation from Joe Biden. His medical condition is now terminal, from what sources have told me. So I'm wondering what that medical condition is, if this is just nonsense, if this is just the culmination of the coup, and that's just what they're going to say to remove him from office, because to step down from the race but not step down from the presidency seems to be, I don't know, it's a weird look. Like, if you're not cognitive enough to run for a next term, like, you're clearly not in good enough shape to run the country. And I think most average Americans can look at that contradiction of logic and feel very unsure about the leadership in this country. So I could understand why they'd want a full removal of him. And it also helps Kamala Harris, if she steps into the role and has a few months experience going into the election, rather than, like, just kind of being thrust into it with nothing. I think it helps her too. So I
That's
think
what we want.
Yeah.
Right? We want to show, I feel like it would be to her advantage if, let's say, even the elections are slightly real in any way, like that the votes actually matter at all. People seeing her just do the job as well as she can. I think that the American voter deserves an opportunity to see her do that, as opposed to just, like the benefit of cover, of hiding behind Joe Biden. She is borderline as senile as he is. And I think really that needs to be shown. That should be our focus. Like, I hope he's not dead. Like, that's just kind of morbid and freaky and really weird. And we're dealing with some assassination times right now. I have no idea. He could be. But that aside, I really do think that the American people and the Trump campaign has been pushing for this, that he needs to resign. I saw Speaker Johnson say this. If you can't do the job, or you can't run, you can't be president right now. And right now, we need to see you. Like, who's leading the country right now? Iran is seeing all this stuff go on. If they're the enemy you say that we have, Russia's supposedly a boogeyman, and China's supposedly somebody we're supposed to be afraid of, and all of them are watching Twitter as well, and they can all see the chaos right now. They saw your security failure on January 13th too. So what's up, American government? Where you at?
Yeah, it's super strange that this happened with a tweet. If you really think about the levity of that, like, you're talking about essentially resigning or ending your campaign, your re-election campaign as president of the United States, and it's done through a social media post, not a speech or a press conference, a letter, an image of a letter posted to X or Twitter. that's just weird. It's weird times as it is. That just seems like so informal for the density of the moment, right? Like I'm not crazy, am I? Like that's incredibly cavalier way to go about making such a monumental decision. But there you go. Here's Blake Masters, who I'm not a huge fan of, but here's his thoughts on it. This was part of the article. I haven't listened to this yet.
Well, the Democrats just pulled off a coup. Where's Joe Biden right now? Has anyone seen this guy? Look, you don't have to go full conspiracy theorist to see that Biden was clearly forced out today. Just 48 hours ago, he was definitely staying in the race. I think his campaign chair went on CBS this morning and said Biden was for sure staying in. But Pelosi and Obama and all the billionaire donors, they had other plans. So they gave Joe the ultimatum. And in doing so, they threw out the results of their own primary election, essentially saying to the voters, hey, get lost. You don't matter. We decided. And that's called democracy. See, the Democrats, they insist they're the party of democracy. How many times do they say that? Yet they're about to install a nominee for president who didn't win a primary, who didn't even herself get a single vote in the primary. Oh, but she'll earn the nomination at the convention. No, this is preordained. Right? The only reason the Obamas and Pelosi aren't endorsing Kamala right now is it would just seem too heavy-handed. Right? They want her to be able to pretend that she earned this. But one thing is clear, Kamala will not earn the support of voters in November. Remember, we Republicans, we bucked our party establishment to elect President Trump. And when we do it again in November, the Democrats will see what democracy actually looks like.
There you go. That's Blake Masters. And he makes, again, the good points of these warriors for democracy basically just took a dump on democracy's chest with this. I mean, just removing the guy that their voters picked, albeit they tried to avoid any choice to begin with. I mean, they didn't even want to hold primaries. What is going on over there? Like, think about just the dysfunction of the Democrats right now. Joe Biden's our guy. We're not even gonna hold primaries. I don't know, probably to hide his cognitive state, even going back to that point, right? Because if you had debates then, it'd probably be a similar result. But they didn't want to hold primaries. So again, scoffing in the face of democracy by not having a legitimate primary process. So you insulate Joe Biden only to throw him under the bus months later. Are they just that dysfunctional? Am I missing some bigger piece of
No,
it right now?
this was their plan all along, and they just couldn't hold it together any longer.
Well, what was their plan all along?
No, meaning that around this time, after they knew what the ticket was with Trump, that's when they were going to pull the switch. Because until they knew whether or not their lawfare was going to work, there was no like. Let's just say Trump got indicted and was sentenced and whatever. Then at the convention they say, well, we can't have a convicted felon, and they do something else. They pull something that, and then they change, and Trump's no longer on the ticket. Now that they would just leave Biden in, they wouldn't care at that point.
I see.
Maybe even then they could still change it out. But the point is that it was always going to be after they had to get him through the Republican convention.
So
at minimum, but
yeah.
they couldn't hold on to the optics because that debate was just too bad.
So they took a shot at Trump the day before the Republican convention, and you had been saying, Pinata, that they were kind of in a holding pattern of chaos purposefully at that point. They wanted to leave the door open to either keep or get rid of Joe Biden. So they're kind of in this holding pattern of chaos. And do you think that was to see if their last ditch effort to rid us of Donald Trump was successful or not before the convention, and afterwards, they went on the side of getting rid of Biden? That Donald Trump.
I think I don't think you have to put the assassination attempt in there. I think they were just counting on the sentencing alone. They wanted to have a debate that Joe somehow did well at, but obviously that didn't happen. And then they thought, oh, with sentencing, that would be
that's likely.
The end of it, but
it's definitely likely. I mean, if you're looking at this from like the normies who don't follow it like the way that all of us here do, they saw they heard about, the media saying he was bad, and they heard about impeachments, and then they heard about, an election where a lot of people, Trump included, were saying that they didn't lose and it was stolen. And then you hear about the indictments, and then he gets more and more and more and more and more and more popular. And at some point, everyone is looking at why and what's going on. And then you hear that he's convicted and then is more popular, and then they're trying to take him off the ballot and he's not. And you see now this is the story that everyone's being presented with, whoever's behind all of it. They cannot win the story. The story is that they failed at every single juncture. First of all, a long time ago, they failed in ideas and principles and policies. They just failed that. So then they had to try weaponize all of the powers that government gives you every single step of the way, including Secret Service protection, in my opinion. And all of them failed. So if anybody out there has any doubt that nothing can stop what is coming, I believe we've been relieved of that doubt. But nothing has worked. And now all of a sudden, their weakest dude ever, to Pinata's point, if their plan all along was to keep going along with Joe Biden this whole time, that's the best they could do. Like, Kamala's clearly less senile or more, maybe. She's not old, and she's not as embarrassing. She's not going to shit her pants at the Vatican. Why didn't they replace her sooner? Like, to what end? So I wonder to what level they are in control of any of this. It's very interesting. And for the first time, I really love that I have no idea what's going on. And I usually kind of have a feeling. Right now, I have no idea what's going on. And that's an unfamiliar territory for me. I'm just along for the ride with the rest of you guys, because this is weird. All this is really weird.
No, I agree with that. Shout out to I saw Scott of Woke Societies out in the chat. Good to see you, Scott. Matt 1776 out there as well. Great to see all you guys hanging out. And again, thank you all so much for kicking off your week with us here today. If you haven't hit that red pill button already, please do that. Repost the show, share the link, all those things that help us continue to grow not only this broadcast but the entire pill.net network here. All right, let's talk about the money, campaign money. That's a big issue here. There's two articles I want to get into. One is from a donor. The other is about the campaign finance laws and what happens to the war chest that was already built up on the Joe Biden ticket. So let's start with this. Biden mega donor will not fundraise for Kamala, says old Joe's endorsement of her is a fuck you to the Democrats who pushed him out. So it happened that on National Ice Cream Day, July 21st, Joe's "It's Just My Brain" Biden dropped out of the presidential race. That makes old Joe the first incumbent president who was not able to run for re-election since Lyndon Johnson 56 years ago.
To me, I'm like, they're not even trying anymore? But then it's part of me is like, yeah, they are still trying, because they do love shit like that.
Yeah. After his surprise announcement, he also posted on X to endorse his Vice President Kamala Harris to be the Democrat nominee. While this was followed by support by some of the party's bosses like Bill and Hillary Clinton, and others like Barack Obama have instead called for a process. Quote, "We will be navigating uncharted waters in the days ahead, but I have extraordinary confidence that the leaders of our party will be able to create a process from which an outstanding nominee emerges." You know what that process will not be?
Democracy.
Democracy. But some signs begin to emerge that the infighting among Dems may be far from over. Case in point, one Biden mega donor has rather shockingly announced that he will not fundraise for the Democrats if Kamala Harris is a nominee. The New York Post reported, quote, it's one thing to vote for somebody, it's another thing to raise millions of dollars for somebody. You have to really be in," Morgan said. John Morgan said Joe Biden's endorsement of Kamala is a fuck you to all who pushed him out. Be careful what you wish for. The godfather of Florida's medical marijuana doesn't think Harris has any chance of winning. Quote, "If Trump could pick anybody to run against, I think they pick her," he said. He informed the Biden National Finance Committee that he was done fundraising for Democrats. But Morgan went beyond that and stated that Joe Biden's endorsement of Kamala is his fuck you to all who pushed him out, a reference of the challenges Kamala will face against Trump. You have to be enthusiastic or hoping for a political appointment to be asking friends for money. I am neither. It's others' turn now. The donors holding the 90 million can release those funds in the morning. It's all yours. You can keep my million and good luck. So there you go. He's done, and I love that. Basically, think about how toxic that is and dysfunctional things over there. We have one of their mega donors basically saying that Joe Biden is sabotaging his own party by endorsing his own vice president, right? A vice president that called him racist, that called him a rapist during the primaries in 2020. I love this. This is like Jerry Springer meets the Democrat Party. I heard you say something under your breath there, Pinata. Was that in reaction to what I was reading, or were you scrolling through something on your own that caught your eye?
No, just something across my feed when we get to the Butler rally.
Okay, cool.
I'm wondering if you just saw the same thing. Is it from Leading Report by any chance? About
Yes.
FBI? Okay, yeah. I just shared that in the chat because that just came across my feed too, and we'll get there.
Oh yeah, I saw this as well. I have a thread, a larger thread that's all contained in that. Again, I don't know what we'll all get to today, but yeah, almost 700 lives, says Matt 1776. That's amazing, especially in the first half of the show. That's just on pilled.net. The platform is growing and thriving. I love to see it. Guys, again, hit that red pill button, repost, and share the link. Keep sharing that link out there. This is a great time to build the momentum for the platform with everything going on.
Yes, please do that. I've seen growth as well. I've seen new people. We've seen a lot of people, new follows, new reposting. So it really does help when you share out the link, guys.
Yeah, this is people are interested. They want to hear what's going on. Numbers are up across platforms. This is a really good time to find new people and get them into our little slice of internet heaven, pilled.net over here. So again, huge thank you to everyone out there continuing to do all that to help us grow. All right. So let's get into the other side of this. And this is from the Epoch Times. Tweak is out there dropping subscriptions for all you guys. So get ready to grab one. He goes nuts when he starts doing this. Thank you, Tweak. You're the man. I really appreciate that. The challenges potentially lie between Kamala Harris and Biden campaigns. Millions. It is unclear if Vice President Kamala Harris will stand to obtain all of the money raised so far for President Joe Biden's reelection campaign if she receives the Democratic Party's nomination for president. On July 21st, following weeks of pressure from his party, President Biden stepped out of the 2024 presidential race and endorsed his vice president for the job. Before he dropped out, the Biden campaign and its allies had amassed hundreds of millions of dollars to support the run. Federal Elections Commission's filing from the Principal Campaign Committee, allied joint fundraising committees, and super political action committees, or PACs, published on July 15th and July 20th, indicate President Biden cumulatively held about 281.2 million at the end of June. The last time a sitting president from the Democratic Party declined the nomination was President Lyndon Johnson in March 1968.
Remember, they did all that New York Manhattan district attorney nonsense over $130,000 that was not election related.
Exactly. That's great context to keep in mind here. Democrats will formally pick their nominee at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. The convention is scheduled to be held August 19th through 22nd. State Democratic Party primaries overwhelmingly selected President Biden earlier this year, but have thrown their support behind Ms. Harris in the past 24 hours. This sets up an unprecedented scenario for the party. It also begs difficult questions about what might happen with President Biden's campaign money. On July 22nd, Judith Ingram, a spokeswoman for the Federal Elections Commission, said the commission could not comment on individual candidates or committees. Quote, the commission has not directly addressed this situation in the past, Ms. Ingram said. In the July 21st post on X, FEC Chairman Sean Cooksey cited the FEC provision that would force any candidate to return or refund all contributions if the candidate is not a candidate in the general election. Well, that seems pretty straightforward to me. During an interview with NPR on July 22nd, Mr. Cooksey said the FEC is in an unprecedented position with the candidate dropping out only weeks ahead of a convention and trying to transfer all of their campaign assets to another person. Mr. Cooksey told the broadcaster that the FEC will likely need to sign off on Ms. Harris taking over those funds. The issue will be up for debate and even legal challenges from Republicans. To further complicate matters, the commission is racing against the clock. Its next open meeting is scheduled for July 25th. That is this Thursday. Were you about to jump in and say something there, Pinata?
One of the I forget the guy. One of these guys from California. I can't remember if he was. I don't think he can't be a senator. So was commenting that Johnson was commenting about the fact that they're going to make sure that this money is being is going to be flowing appropriately. And then the guy said, "This guy has no." This guy said about Johnson, Speaker Johnson, that he has no business getting the Democrat affairs about money and lawfare. It's like, yeah, okay, like you guys don't do that all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So it's just funny, just the complete lack of, or just well, he probably understands.
I'm Republican.
They don't care. They don't care about being hypocrites.
No.
No, it's different when they do it. Different with a blue D in a circle.
Of course.
If I'm Republicans, I have lawsuits and challenges preloaded and ready to roll on this. You want to tie this up and keep that money in operational for as long as possible. Like make sure they can't use it for as long as you can. Turn a little lawfare on them. FEC Vice Chair Ellen Weintraub has yet to make a public statement about the situation. The Republican National Committee did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Epoch Times about the matter. Ms. Ingram declined to comment on whether the 6-member commission will be forced to make a verdict on any campaign finance matters relating to President Biden and Ms. Harris's. The FEC, formed in 1974 by the Federal Election Campaign Act, is made up of 3 Republicans and 3 Democrats. As of 11 a.m. Eastern Time, July 22nd, the Democrat Party has not issued any formal statement about a nominee. The latest statement, published on July 21st and attributed to Democratic National Committee Chairman Jamie Harrison, said nothing about Ms. Harris. It only promised a transparent and orderly process to move forward as a united Democratic Party with a candidate who can defeat Donald Trump in November. Despite the legal uncertainty and potential hurdles, the Biden campaign, FEC's registered apparatus, transformed itself into the Harris campaign on July 21st. Employees of the Biden campaign identified themselves as working for Harris for president in social media posts on July 22nd. The campaign website for President Biden and similar sites either redirect to page soliciting donations for Ms. Harris or are rebranded as Harris for President. On July 21st, both Biden campaign joint fundraising committees, Biden Action Fund and Biden Victory Fund, renamed themselves Harris Action Fund, Harris Victory Fund. The political campaign committee, Biden for President, renamed itself Harris for President. Legally, however, only one committee, Future Forward, will be free to spend its money on whichever candidate likes, according to FEC rules. Future Forward held about $122 million at the end of June, according to federal records. According to FEC rules, the Joint Fundraising Committee also has more freedom to distribute money to any committee that is registered in a joint fundraising agreement with it. Harris for President is named on both Harris campaign joint fundraising committees. Together, those accounts held about $63 million at the end of June, according to FEC records. The second richest account, Harris for President, held $96 million at the end of June, according to public records. So, yeah, if I'm the Republicans, I don't know if you'll be able to stop them from spending this money. I have a feeling the FEC will likely try to find a way to let them transfer it, but I'd be ready to challenge and hold that up in court or just make that as difficult for them as absolutely possible. Fight dirty on this. Don't let them just pull this bait and switch on their voters without any pain or resistance on our end. So that's what I'm hoping to see. But I know that the campaign finance issue was a big perceived roadblock in getting rid of Joe Biden. So it'll be interesting to see how that all litigates itself over the next couple of months.
It looks like ultimately they just understood that they had to go with her because of the money.
Yeah, because it would cost them $96 million to go with anyone else. But I also heard yesterday or Sunday night, Viva and Barnes was getting into the potential legal struggle there, and maybe in simpler terms that that the article probably said, but the way he crystallized it was really understandable for me, was that he said the money that was raised for Biden, like, I forgot about the fact, or didn't focus on the fact that, like, President Trump so far, until he named JD Vance, all the money that he's raised has been as Trump for president, not the Trump Vance for president thing. So that changes things. And the same thing here. Biden hasn't even picked a running mate because he's not the nominee yet. So all the money that he's raised has been specifically only for Joe Biden for president. So there's probably 90% chance there's not a legal way to just skip that over to the next person. Like, they didn't donate to anyone other than Joe Biden legally. And in the terms of where they've donated, it might be, specified. But anyway, I thought it was
I think that's why
interesting.
they said that he has to be the nominee and she has to be the VP nominee in order for them to actually transfer the money.
Yeah.
But if they're doing this already, I don't know what that means.
Do you guys see JD Vance giving a speech, and he said, I was told I was going to get the debate Kamala Harris, and now it's going to be Donald Trump that gets the debater. I'm kind of pissed off about that. Something to that effect. I thought that was pretty funny. Some people that don't think it's funny, I've got clips here, reactions from Van Jones and Rachel Maddow. Both of them, apparently, I haven't watched these yet, getting emotional over this. Let's take a look. Oh, hold on, I have this muted.
Even people who are pushing for this to happen, it's kind of like when your grandpa, you got to take the keys, and everybody, you got to take his keys, you got to take his keys, you got to, and he's fighting, and everybody's so frustrated, and then you finally get the keys back, and then you just cry, because this is somebody that you love, this is somebody that you care about, this is somebody who was there for you.
Keep in mind, these guys have told us that he drove, if we're going to carry the analogy forward, he drove like the best NASCAR driver ever for the past 3.5 years. His record speaks for itself. He was handling those hairpin turns, carving it up, handling the car perfectly. But now all of a sudden, it's time to take the keys. Oh my God.
Somebody, you wouldn't be here without him, and you had to take something from him. Now, this is not, look, this politics is politics, but this is a human moment for one of the great humans in America. This is a huge moment for him, for his family, for all of us who love him, for all of us who wanted him to get across the finish line. But if you're a young person watching this, this is leadership. This is patriotism. This is what it means to put the country first, and put the party first, and put the cause first. When your arm gets tired, you let somebody else finish pitching the game. That's what Joe Biden has done, and he's done that for all of us. And so I just want to say, I don't know who's going to be the VP, the non-VP. I don't know anything about politics. I just know that I love this man. I care about this man. It was painful every day to sit up here and talk about him like he's just some problem for the party. Wait till we get to the convention. You're going to see people crying, standing, screaming, cheering. He may not get a chance to talk for 10 minutes. We finally get a chance to put our arm around this guy. He did the right thing for this country. He did the right thing for this party. All of us are going to be in this situation someday, and I hope that we take a moment to honor this man and to love this man. I love Joe Biden. I appreciate what he's done, and a lot of people are heartbroken today. Even if it's the right thing, it's still...
Oh, man, that's beautiful.
Remember, what did we say? What did we say just last week? Van Jones seemed like he believed what he was saying.
Yeah.
And there, I think, kind of proves it. I think he was really trying to stop from welling up.
Who knows, man?
I don't know.
He comes off as an actor to me, but
I could do that. I could do that.
Like, I go back and forth with these people. It's really hard.
That's so pathetic, though. Like, yeah, I bet there will be people crying at the convention, but I don't think it's for that reason. No, this is the sloppiest coup in American history. This is ridiculous. And he is ridiculous and a joke, and he cries way too often. And that is a man on the left.
That's fantastic. I just like the contradiction in logic there, right? Because these same people are the ones that are like, he did such a great job. He's the best driver we ever had, but now it's time to take the keys. Like, it all happened in a matter of one debate, 1 week. Like the 180 on all of this.
Yeah, don't let him get away with this either. That he's done, if he's alive and he's stepping down or whatever, at any point, I don't want to hear these people, or especially anybody on our side, saying that like what he's done in any way. I don't think anybody on our side would, but that he's done the right thing, that it's dignified, and how he's, passing the torch to the next. No, he was illegitimate. He was never elected. He lied to the American people. He's a criminal. He's been aiding our enemies and taking bribes all over the world his entire career. He's an absolute racist, a pedophile, and a thug, and he deserves to be in jail. And definitely needs to not be any of this reverence or anything like that. But that's what we're gonna say. On the other side, for the normies, you can just say, if this is some sort of, doing the right thing, and that this is an integrity move, and a move with integrity, that he's stepping down. He had been this senile and this unfit for the job for at least a year, but we know it's been much longer than that. But it wasn't all of a sudden at the debate, and he never stepped down. He stayed in power knowing he could do the job for a really long time, and everybody covered for it. So I don't want to, none of this narrative is going to fly. We need to shoot it down right now. I mean, I changed the words. We need to nip that in the bud right now with the the narrative that he's some kind of a good guy doing the right thing. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Let's get Rachel, Matt. Oh, come on. Why is my Let's get Rachel, Maddow. I bet he's really sad too.
I mean, this is history writ large. We'll all remember where we were and what we were doing at this moment. And just thinking about the president right now, what a man, what a patriot, what an act of selfless devotion to your country. And he has been a phenomenal president. He brought us back from COVID. He, gave us the best recovery from COVID of any major nation on earth at a time when the world has economically been struggling in the wake of COVID. The Biden economy is literally the envy of the world. He ended the presidency of Donald Trump at one disastrous term. And he did it while being decent and civil and honorable and normal, and occasionally boring at a time when boring was absolutely what we needed. And I just, his career of decades in public service as a senator and as a very successful vice president and as a phenomenally successful president, there is no single thing that he has done in that entire career that is a greater or more consequential act of service and sacrifice to this country.
You should have stopped right there.
Than what he has done today. And
What's that?
There is no greater thing that he's done in his career, or anything he's done in his career. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, that's.
It's like Van Jones. He says, "I know nothing about politics." Well, just stop right there. Broken clock.
Cannot, knowing him a little bit, knowing his personality, having spoken to him, a number of times in my life, both in sort of official and unofficial capacities, I cannot see anywhere in his personality where this decision today was possible. This is the opposite of something that is natural or easy for him. He is just not built to do something like this because his superpower is being underestimated. And that's why he's been so resolute in resisting all these calls for him to drop out. But him making this decision today is to give the country a chance, a reasonable chance at not putting Donald Trump back in the White House, not putting a president back in the White House who refused to leave the last time and summoned an angry mob to try to overthrow the government rather than go. This is Joe Biden saying, apparently it's not me, the one that gives us the best chance to do that. It's got to be somebody else, and so I will step aside. I'm just blown away by the sacrifice and the patriotism that this moment.
I guess that's what you would expect from these guys, is super kind. What a selfless act type send off. I guess we shouldn't be surprised by that rhetoric, but holy hell, it's crazy. All right, so that leaves us, at least potentially now, with a Trump-Harris, a Trump-Kamala matchup in November. Although that's not official yet. Let's take a look at the polls. President Trump beating Kamala Harris by 8 points in a national poll and by 5 points in Georgia. So Democrats hoping Kamala Harris is what it takes to defeat President Trump after forcing Joe Biden to withdraw from the presidential race Sunday may be in for a disappointment. A statewide poll in Georgia by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution early Sunday shows President Trump leading Kamala Harris by 5 points in a head-to-head Georgia matchup at 51 to 46%. The poll was taken July 9th through the 18th with 1,000 likely voters with a 3.1% margin of error. A national poll taken the week before the assassination attempt on Trump shows him beating Harris by 8 points in a six-way matchup. The Manhattan poll of 2,100 likely voters was taken July 7th through the 13th and released July 16th. The poll has Trump at 44%, Harris at 36%, support with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at 6%, and Chase Oliver, Jill Stein, and Colonel West each garnering 1% of support. Not sure, 5%, someone else, 4%. Will not vote 2%. The poll has a margin of error of 2.7%. And there you can see the numbers right there. So these were all taken both before the assassination and assassination attempt, I should say, and prior to the news that Joe Biden is stepping down. But again, not great for Kamala Harris. And I don't know. We have a few minutes left here before we go to break, and when we get to break, we'll jump into some talk around the assassination attempt. We'll play some clips from the hearing today with Secret Service Director Cheadle, which was an absolute disgrace. If you saw any of this, it was one of the most ridiculous hearings I've ever witnessed. And I've watched a lot of these things at this point over the past however many years of doing this. This one, I think, might have been the most maddening. And that includes all the Fauci ones. And oh man, those Fauci ones could really get your blood boiling. This one was even freaking worse. I've never quite seen anything like it, to be honest. But we'll play some clips from that. Pinata has got something that he wants to show as well regarding some audio analysis. There's this Revolver article, which I have not read yet. It's kind of long, but Darren Beatty always does such a fantastic job. I feel like it would be a good one to go through too. So we'll just kind of see what we have time to get through. Also, Senator Johnson came on with Maria Bartiromo and was talking about two shooters potentially. And that's like a 10-minute clip that we could play as well. So just all kind of different places we can go in hour number two. I want to focus hour number two pretty heavily on the assassination attempt of Donald Trump and dig into more of that, because there's just so many more questions we have than answers regarding that. And I feel like that in itself could be a major, major storyline and narrative that has a huge effect on the 2024 election if some truth is exposed over what actually happened. How was it allowed to happen? Who specifically was behind it, right? There's so much to get into there. But first, I want to go around the panel here and ask you guys, is Kamala Harris actually going to be the nominee? Because she is a disaster. She does not provide, I don't think, any advantages over Joe Biden. Is there another surprise coming from the Democrats? Is there another person waiting to make their move during the convention? And if so, who do you think that is? Jump in, guys.
If I had to lean into one of their legacy candidates, I think you'd see Hillary Clinton before you saw before you saw Michelle Obama.
Yeah. I
agree with that.
I think Hillary might make an appearance. I really think that Hillary might make an appearance. You can tell she's been just like slowly waiting in the background.
Yeah. And if the question is, will she be the nominee, or will they try to lead with the black female that's the incumbent and use the money if they can legally to keep Kamala? I have no idea what's going to happen, but imagine being Kamala Harris as like running for president with Hillary Clinton behind you. Like, that's terrifying. Absolutely. I do notice that right away, everybody except for Obama endorsed Kamala after Joe dropped out. Mm-hmm. And he kind of used language that leaves it open to, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, he's just holding back all of his leverage. So until, and even maybe after he does some kind of endorsement, I think we may be looking at a contested convention, which just chaos. Like, this party had no backup plan other than to kill Donald Trump. That's all I know. I don't know.
Certainly what it seems like. They really, everything that I've seen has made me think that they're extremely confident, very sure that one way or another he was going to be removed from the picture. Now, I want to read this from our favorite Anon. This was posted on April 30th, 2020 at 4:50 in the afternoon Eastern time. There's a Washington Examiner article, says Democratic National Convention pushed back a month to mid-August. And this one has the how do you attempt to sneak one in line right here, right? And I don't know if this is relevant here, but I feel like it's worth reading. So it says, why are they pushing back the Democrat convention? COVID-19 concern or strategic for last minute change? Change of batter coming? Why was she saved from officially announcing? Why was she reserved for last minute change? How do you attempt to sneak one in? How do you attempt to ensure victory? I don't know. Interesting, right? I don't know. This goes on and there's more to it, but I remember that line. How do you attempt to sneak one in? How do you attempt to change a batter coming? Well, clearly there wasn't a change of batter in 2020. So I wonder if this was one of these future proofs past situations. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But I don't know. Something tells me it's not going to be Kamala Harris. So I just have this gut feeling that this is a misdirection, a serious misdirection. And they have other plans for somebody else because Kamala has no chance, absolutely no chance. She is universally hated by left and right. The only people that are going to get behind her are like the psycho TDS people that only care about immutable qualifications like skin color and race and gender. Anyone that cares about merit and talent, not going to go for this. So, all right, guys, it is time for hour number 2. We are a little late here, so make sure you jump on over to pilled.net. We'll be broadcasting exclusively there from 5 to 6 p.m. today. I'll put the link in DLive and over on Rumble as well. In the live chat, it's also in the Rumble description underneath the stream. So I hope you guys will come over and continue hanging out with us today over on Pilled. If you can't get to those links for whatever reason, it's super easy to find us. You just got to type in Pilled, PILLED.net into your browser and then find us at 412 Productions. Our thumbnails on the left-hand side of the screen on desktop, up at the top on mobile. So pop on over and keep hanging out with us. I'm going to play a quick video. We'll come back on the other side, read your gold pills, and then we'll jump right back into the conversation. We'll be focusing on the assassination attempt of Donald Trump, trying to get closer to the truth on that issue. So we'll be right back.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family. And if you have any questions at all, please email support@pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we are back. Again, huge thank you out there to everybody who's popped over from other platforms to keep watching with us on Pilled.net. I really appreciate that. If you're not going to continue watching with us today, no worries. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time for another broadcast. And that will be our final broadcast of the week. I am leaving for Colorado very early Wednesday morning. And I will not be back until late Sunday night, early Monday morning. So we'll pick things back up Monday at 4 p.m. after that. So again, thank you all so much. Those of you who come over and keep hanging out with us. Those of you, again, that are not going to join us, no worries. But if you'd like to, it's pilled.net. We're at 412 Production. Links in the Rumble description and the live chat on Rumble and DLive. So come on over, spend hour or two with us. Otherwise, have an awesome rest of your Monday, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m.